So today, before we take a look at our gun choice, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has been supporting me in the past few weeks. The support has been insane, and I have been trying to respond to as many comments as possible on my videos, except to that one video. But because of your support, I have been able to reach out other fellow YouTubers that I have been watching for the past year or so. And I might do, or not might, I'll probably do a collab with one of them. For those of you who follow me pretty passionately, you already know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. For the rest that don't know, stay tuned for that. But I got planned quite a few videos this week, so that is some exciting news, starting with this one. So one of the weapons that got into the honorable mentions on my secondary weapons video, and I didn't really see anyone commenting about it, was the Twin Kohmak. And I was surprised to not see anybody question the choice of the Twin Kohmak, as it is not that popular of a gun. But my guess is that people do know it's really good, but don't get it because of one reason. And I'm gonna show that reason right now. So, to get the blueprint for the Twin Kohmak, you need to do the Kelad the Thame fight, and Kelad the Thame has a chance to drop it to you. To get into the Kelad the Thame fight specifically, you need to play Arena and get judgment points. And only if you have 25 judgment points can you enter her fight. So you have limited amount of tries. And then you need 2 normal Kohmaks and a Forma to build it. So building this gun, it is not an easy job whatsoever, and that's why it's probably not really used by many people. It's not an easy gun to build. But in this video, we're gonna show you what the gun is able to do. Alright, so we're here at the simulacrum, and I'm gonna show you the main build that I was using for the longest time. So I do have a Raven for the Twin Kohmak, and obviously, why wouldn't I? It has a 4 Raven disposition, and its Ravens are super cheap. It's a gun I like, so I want to take it to the maximum. And right now, you're gonna see that my Raven is not optimal. It has too much cold damage, which I don't really mind. You're gonna say that it does just fine, even though the weighting on viral is pretty high. And then multi-shot crit damage. Crit damage is nice because I use Arcane Avenger and I use this with Wisp most of the time, or all the time, because the minus fire rate has killed this Riven completely. Minus fire rate on this gun atrocious. So with that, it's limiting me to only play it with Wisp or Gauss or Harrow, basically Warframes that can buff fire rate. And this is the build. So we're trying to get slash, hit procs, and some viral to boost those 2 procs. And this is an anti-Grenier weapon in my opinion. I'm gonna remove Cascadia Flare for now and put Merciless to make this test harder and not start fully stacked on these enemies. So we're gonna spawn the 20 Corrupted Bombardeximus. This is a really hard test for any gun to do without running out of ammo, especially when it's ammo economy, like the Twin Kohmak ammo economy is really bad. So let's see how it does. So first of all, we're gonna say that this guy has a lot of procs and that he is now armor stripped for some reason. I guess that's my Kavat's doing. And we're gonna say that the other people got damage as well. This is because the Twin Kohmak has some punch through. Just like the Kuvakon, its primary variant, this has punch through. So now that we're stacked, we're gonna see what the damage actually looks like. Bear in mind, this is only attack speed buff from Wisp and nothing else. So, quite nice. You can also clearly see that the punch through is only good enough for 3 enemies and not 4. But the damage and the hit and slash procs are definitely there. We're seeing around 100 hit procs, 70 slash procs. But it makes sense when it is a shotgun with 250% status chance or multi-shot and it hits through its ammo like that. So DPS on this shotgun is kinda nuts. It is very strong. So now that we put Merciless and did the test with this. I'm gonna put the actual Arcane that we're using on almost any secondary weapon nowadays, because Cascadia Flare, Prime Heated Charge, and Scorch, you can heavily weight towards doing heat and heat procs, and it's a 480% 480% damage up instead of a 360% damage up. Now we're gonna say the first guys are gonna die much quicker. They're not completely getting one-shotted because our galvanized mods are not stacked yet, but now that they're stacked, we're not seeing big numbers, but we're seeing so many procs that these enemies die really quickly. So this is the first test, and it's just to show that the gun is able to be built for pure damage and be reliably good. Because right now, as I said, we're not using any damage buff, so you can imagine with Roar, it can do a lot more than this, which I'm also gonna show. So we change this to Roar, and well, the build is this basically. So to understand, if you don't have a Riven, the Riven replaces, where is it, Frostbite. So you wouldn't have a Riven, you would have Frostbite instead. I do have a Riven, so I use this. So I'm now gonna spawn them, not pause their AI, and do this as normal. So now my Kavat has given me orange crits. I mean, not really fair, but yeah. Why are you doing this? I'm gonna do the test again because this was completely unfair. I completely one-shotted him. Just gonna equip a melee weapon to reset everything. Now you see with Arcane Avenger as well, there is a lot of orange. Anything blue is a normal crit, anything orange is a normal crit. Well, anything blue is a damage, anything yellow is a normal crit, because I have changed my UI settings to look like that. So you see the Kohmak can do a little bit of damage. It is very, very strong. But it can also do something else, which is prime, obviously. This gun can prime, and it can prime really, really well, mind you. And why is that? Well, if you can see on my build, we have heat radiation viral. And that is possible because of the new mods that got introduced this update that give flat radiation instead of just one elemental. Because of this mod, we are able to get on the gun itself 6 types of status effects, and then with secondary Cucumber we can do a lot, and I do mean a lot. So I have a normal Tiburon Prime. I don't even remember if this is Riven modded. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Well, you can see just a triple galvanized mode setup. I'm gonna show you what the Tiburon does on its own on its first enemy. Oops. Okay. Did I spawn more? I don't think I did, but whatever. I might have. Anyway. So yeah, this is not stack, but even with stacks you're gonna see that the Tiburon needs quite a few shots to kill. So I'm gonna do the same, but this time I'm just gonna prime them. So look at the procs now. Not even like half the mag and you get this. So then whatever gun you use is gonna do a lot more damage. One good thing that you can do is that if you are focusing on getting a Riven roll with this, and using this as a primer. Your reroll can have status duration. Status duration is a very, very useful stat when it comes to priming enemies. And because of the punch through, we're gonna see that when I kill this guy, the guy behind him is also primed, which is really, really nice. So yeah, with 80 ammo, if you just spam like this guy has a lot of status procs, and the guy behind him, which is really nice in my opinion. So I think the Twin Kohmak is like a very useful gun that I wouldn't say it's overlooked, but I would say because it's hard to get, not a lot of people have tried it. So it doesn't get any praise at all when it's actually really, really strong. So as you saw from the full auto mode there, one bullet does a lot of damage, and the full auto mode is the weakest on this. Even with just a few bullets, a lot of status procs. Obviously, this is because of Encumber and its interaction with this. But you gotta imagine with this high multi-shot, this high status chance, and fully automatic weapons, these do a lot of work when it comes to priming. And as you saw before, they are decent enough to do damage as well, especially with the right setup. So these are the Twin Kohmak, and I like them. They're really fun. They used to be my favorite secondary weapons before other secondaries took their place, like the New Core, Lex Prime, Incarnon especially. And nowadays this thing is insane. The Spore Laser. Honestly, very, very, very good weapons. And I think they deserve a bit more praise.